It's a real pleasure to welcome to our big round table on the Morning Brew the police chief at the University of New Mexico. But a lot of you haven't met her unless you go to UNM. Kathy Guimond is here. Kathy, great to meet you, and thank you for joining us here on the Morning Brew.
Well, thanks so much for the invitation. I appreciate it.
You bet. Do a lot of people know you?
I'm told by my staff that I can't walk through campus in uniform or not in uniform without being found out. So.
Well, yeah, I'm sure there are a lot of disgruntled people who are like, I have 20 tickets.
Okay, well, I will take no responsibility for parking,
Yeah.
except to try to find a space for myself.
There you go.
There you go.
You've been with the UNM Police Department for what, 17 years now?
A little longer, yeah.
Wow.
Fantastic. And you came from another university in Illinois, where you were also on the police force there, and you rose through the ranks in Northern Illinois
Right.
University.
That's correct.
You've been doing this a while.
I started when I was 12.
Yeah.
And I'll stick to that. But yeah, it's I'm in year 39, and all of it is on a campus.
Yeah.
So I think campuses tend to keep you young. Our student population comes through, and 4 or 5 years later, we're graduating them, and we're starting fresh.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And so we're always kind of, even with police, we're always kind of in the education business.
Right. And how is it different than from Albuquerque Police?
There are a lot of similarities. For example, our officers are state certified. They go through the same training as APD. In fact, we share training. And so from a certification standpoint, things are the same. Okay. A police officer in New Mexico is a police officer. But there are differences in enforcement and in methodology. For example, we don't have city ordinances like APD has. Every law enforcement agency is a little different. State police have things that they do, and county sheriff's departments, and aviation police is a good example. And one of the things that does make us unique is that we do have students who come through. UNM is a flagship institution.
Right.
And we do a lot of things throughout the campus. And that attracts students from all different walks of life, and people who want to major in a large variety of things.
Now, I've heard you refer to this, the UNM campus is like a big city in a city. And it's far-flung. You've got the athletic complex,
Exactly.
it's a big place. Do you have to cover all the bases?
We do. Typically we go from I-40 to the airport and from I-25 to Carlisle.
Yeah.
Wow.
And obviously UNM doesn't own all of that. It's kind of like a checkerboard jurisdiction, because we own this block but not the next two. And it is a diverse campus. We have the only level 1 trauma center in the state.
Yeah.
And I heard last night on the news that the cancer center is making great strides in cancer treatment,
Right.
and perhaps working towards a cure. So we have immeasurable research that we do that's cutting edge. We have the largest venue in the state for people, and that's the stadium. The pit is always in use. We've got a variety of things, Pope Joy. The campus is truly open to everybody.
And they pose a lot of different security challenges for your staff.
They absolutely do. For example, on a football game day, we might work with, there might be 7 different law enforcement agencies working, and we work together to keep everybody safe.
Wow.
Some more visible than others, right?
Yeah.
That's true. That's
Tailgating season, I'm sure there's more officers out there as well.
Well, we try to keep everybody safe.
Yeah.
We want to be a very welcoming campus, but at the same time, the challenge, we have 40 to 50,000 people there every day. And it's a destination for patient care. We have the diversity of the campus really can be a challenge for us.
I would imagine you're prepared for any eventuality. Do you rehearse these things? Is there some drills that you go through, some training involved to deal with anything that might happen on a university facility?
Absolutely. We have our very own emergency operations center. In fact, and there's also one up at the Health Science Center to deal with the hospital, because sometimes a disaster could happen in part of the state and not affect Albuquerque, but we have people who are injured coming into UNMH as the trauma center. So yeah, those of us who are appointed to the Emergency Operations Center, we have to go through FEMA training. Wow. And we're like every other emergency operations center. We practice.